Hi, welcome to Turn-Based Besties, a podcast where two grown adults with no free time talk about their favorite RPGs. I'm DJ.
And I'm Sam, and we're besties that love to game.
And today, we're going to talk about a game.
We are. Oh, I thought about this, and I'm just going to throw it in now.
Okay.
I wonder if we should say the game that we're going to talk about sooner, maybe even now.
Let's try it. Let's
We're doing an audible.
This is it, folks. Organic episode on the fly. So today we are going to talk about Thousand Doors.
Thousand Doors. For those in the know, it's called Thousand Doors.
Thousand Doors.
For everybody else out there, it's called Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. And this is the remake for Switch and Switch 2.
But before we talk about that...
we're going to take it back and chat about our lives and what makes us us, you know?
Yeah. If you're joining us for the first time on our 46th episode, first off,
we love you and welcome.
What have you been doing anyway? But I guess glad to have you back finally here. But now we're going to talk about our lives a little bit. Sam, how the hell are you?
Well, one thing is Tay and I have been battling a GI bug this week that Kay, our 1.5-year-old, brought into the house, and it's been horrendous.
Both of you have it?
Oh yeah. And so, however, I might look very skinny, very DJ pneumonia skinny, you might say.
Wow, deep cut.
I'm down like 5+ pounds. I just have not eaten anything for like the past 3 days.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, it's okay, and then you're tired and whatever. The worst of it is over. The first day was like the worst with like body aches and nausea and stuff like that, and then now it's just you're tired and you don't want to eat anything. Could be worse. You push through. You do the pod anyway.
Oh, do you want me to like Uber eat some sushi to you then? Would that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds cheap. Uber eats it all the way from the West Coast, where it's much better, I'm sure.
I will. It'll be 2 days until it gets to you, but that's how you know it's the most fresh.
I mean, we're in the Midwest here. If we're eating sushi, it's not the most fresh. But, we're fine. We're fine. However, the kiddos, they're okay. We're hoping that the bigger two kiddos don't catch it. They haven't, which is good.
That's good.
And even though my 7-year-old was recently 7-year-old, is the star student or was the star student, which is what you get to do when it's your birthday week. And you get to wear literally a crown that says star student. You get to do a PowerPoint presentation about yourself. You get to have like lunch with the principal or something. Remember when that was cool?
No. I don't, but I'm glad that she gets to do that.
She was excited. They liked their principal. She was excited.
That's nice.
And so Tay was helping in work on her star student PowerPoint presentation about herself. And so she was practicing it. And Tay goes, oh, so you can start by saying, I'm in, and I'm star student this week. And she is becoming such a little preteen because her response was, oh, no, nobody says that, Mom.
I bet Tay felt so old in that moment, too.
She probably did, but it was so funny. It was just like, I thought it was a fine suggestion on how to start your PowerPoint about being star student that week.
Yeah.
But, oh, no. Nobody says that, Mom. No. So,
no.
Anyway... So we're surviving illness and a 7-year-old preteen.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you're kind of feeling better.
Oh, it's much better than 2 days ago. Yeah, we're raging over here.
That's good. Wow, okay, good.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm not, pooping and puking, so... or any more than normal, I guess. So, I'm fine over here. I think last time we talked, my students were getting ready for the Nats competition.
Yeah.
And the results are out, baby, and they killed it. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud.
I would expect no less.
You're very kind. We submitted 10 folks into the competition, and all 10 of them ended up with some form of a placement. That we had 6 people win their divisions.
Oh my gosh.
3 people got second, and 1 person got an honorable mention. So I'm really proud of these folks, even if they didn't place, because it takes a lot of work to submit to these competitions,
Sure.
So
Well, that's awesome, dude.
I was already proud of them, regardless of placement, but it's really nice for a lot of these folks who need a little love in their lives. You know, it's hard to be a
Yeah.
singer, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. You deserve the recognition, and this is one of the places that you can get it because
they
not
do.
every singer, is going to be professional in the sense that they get paid for it or have a gig or have a whatever, and so this is one of the ways you show how well you've done and what you
It's
deserve.
true. And, you
Yeah.
know, what's cool about this one is we had winners in the classical division, in the musical theater division, and in the contemporary pop music division.
Oh my gosh, and you
So-
can teach them all.
I can teach them all, some more efficiently than others, but that's for another podcast.
The musical theater.
The musical no, it's fine. And also, I just had a new client come in right now who was recommended to me from, like, we just finished their lesson, like, 26 minutes ago, kind of a
Oh my
thing.
gosh.
And she was a recommendation from an otolaryngologist friend. So sometimes when no one else, when the better people in the city can't take some of these singers with injuries, sometimes they come into my studio for some rehabilitation.
Oh, interesting.
And because I do, maybe you don't even know this too. Like, I do have, like, speech voice rehabilitation specialist practice.
Yeah, I know. I knew you had some training in those kind of things.
But there are people who are, I think, far more qualified than I to do that. But like I said, sometimes they're booked, and you have to go to someone else who can at least take care of you. And
I'm sure you did great.
We did great. She left, and she said she has hope, and that was just so sweet. It was just so sweet. You know, this is a former singer who, was a semi-professional, and now they're older, and they had their superior laryngeal nerve damaged on the left side.
Oh no.
I know. So
Thyroid surgery or something, or what happened?
complete removal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That happens with that kind of surgery, but it sucks when you're a singer.
It really sucks when you're a singer.
Really, really sucks.
I mean,
that
they must
happened
have had
Yeah.
a good reason to do the procedure, I'm sure, and they must have tried their best not to.
There were good reasons to do it. It's a similar but not so similar thing happened to my dad when he had most of his esophagus removed, and the recurrent laryngeal nerve was snipped, which meant permanent damage, as you know. Yeah. So it happens, So doctors aren't perfect. Sometimes those things happen. Like, that's the risk of surgery. But it's better that than dying of cancer.
Yeah, that's rough though. Well, but now you're here to help them through the recovery and see what they can do.
Yeah, we sure are.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Oh, well, cool.
But,
all right. Well, let's.
On to happier, more colorful, hopeful days.
That's right. That's right. Paper-filled journeys. Well, DJ, tell us today about the Thousand Year Door Saga. What is it? What's it about? Who made this game?
So, 1,000 Doors, or really Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door. That's what the game is called. It is
they say.
That's the only time I'm going to call it by the actual name. So this is kind of your standard, in a lot of ways, turn-based RPG, but it's with the IP of Mario, the intellectual property, for those not in the know, of Mario, in a world where everything is made of, you guessed it, paper, because you got to have a gimmick, I guess. I don't
In
know.
a Nintendo game, I think they do. They got to have some sort of gimmick.
I guess you do. So it was developed by Intelligent Systems, published by Nintendo, obviously. The original platform was GameCube, but now it's on Switch 1 and Switch 2 as the remake. Originally released in 2004. Woo! That's a long time ago. And the remake was released in 2024. So 20 years later. That doesn't feel... 2004 doesn't feel like it was over 20 years ago. I'm actually offended.
Yep, it's kind of a personal shot at us. So thanks a lot, Paper Mario.
Super cool. So,
Sorry,
Sam,
1,000 Year Doors.
1,000 Doors. Sam, tell us a little bit about the actual remake and the gameplay.
Yeah, so what they did with this 20 years later remake is they updated the graphics and the animations, and so a lot of the visuals are upscaled, but they kind of like changed some of the animations there. They updated the score like completely, I think. You have certain quality of life things like fast travel, increased coin capacity. You have a music and art gallery. There are some extra super bosses at the end, and then I think they adjusted some of the scripts, the script language and dialogue. I read something saying maybe to make it more accepting and kind for today's world. And so you'd think 20 years ago maybe it wasn't that much different, but maybe it was. And maybe just over time they realized that some things came across mean-spirited, and so they
In a
changed
Mario
it.
game, that's so shocking to hear. I mean, no, truly, that's shocking to hear that a Mario game might have been mean spirited. But you know what? When we know better, we do better.
Yeah. I guess it was just some like misogynistic type language for one, but then also
Oh.
apparently there was one of the characters. This is kind of cool, who was reportedly, and everybody kind of thought that they might be a transgender character, and so now they made it more evident in that is true, which is kind of cool.
It seemed obvious to
Yeah,
me, but maybe I also thought that was obvious going into it because I kind of knew.
but I think they made it more obvious than it had been in the original.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But anyway, so play wise, what are we doing? So it is the classic turn-based RPG. So, but outside of battling, you traverse dungeons, traverse the overworld, finding loot, solving small puzzles, fighting, minions, and then later bigger bosses. It has some kind of Metroidvania-esque upgrading and ability upgrades that allow you to traverse the overworld in different ways, find new loot that's locked behind different abilities. So what these are again generally going by the paper mechanic, but you can become as flat as a piece of paper and walk through little cracks and crevices. You can roll up into a little, rolled up paper like poster and roll under things. You can fold into a paper plane and glide to places. You can fold into a paper boat, like origami boat, and float places. So that's kind of cool, but it allows you to once you get these upgrades, you can go to different parts of the world. You can see different things, kind of like in a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
And then additionally, you have party members that you will amass while you go on, and then each party member has different abilities in the overworld too, which can reveal secrets or allow you to grab items or just traverse in different ways. So I thought the way that you unlock these abilities over time and can use the overworld was really nicely done, actually.
I like that each party member they really felt. There are a lot of RPGs where you amass a lot of party members, and some of them, you get them, and you're like, all right, I'm never gonna use you, and there was a need. There was a need, at least if not in battle, at least outside of battle, there was a need for every party member. So they felt
Exactly, yeah.
they felt at least important some of the time.
If you had your favorites to battle with, you still had to use the other ones outside of battle, which is great. And then additionally, last little thing is there are not random battles on this in this game, so the enemies were on the overworld, which I'd be interested to look into the history of when that started, because I wonder if this was one of the earlier games to not have random battles, but probably not.
No, I mean, this is 2004. I know in 1999, Lunar didn't have random battles. They had, so
Okay.
yeah.
So never mind on that. But anyway, once you do jump into a combat, DJ, what's that look like?
Ooh, we got a 2-party per battle, which is my favorite. Just kidding. I mean, it's fine. I think it worked. I think it worked for this game though, for sure. It's turn-based combat. It's actually on a stage, which is cute, and you have there's a little bit of audience participation, perhaps one might say, from time to time. There is timed button presses. Again, my favorite thing in an RPG.
I thought they were well done in this.
They were. It's not my favorite thing in an RPG. But yeah, there are timed button presses and other active elements to perform your attack to get its maximum effect. There's also a block time mechanic in order to take less damage. You have HP and FP, that's flower points for magic, to perform your special actions. Each character has their own set of skills and abilities. Again, we already mentioned that outside of battle, but they have them inside battle as well. There's something called star power and crystal abilities. You gain them as you collect crystal stars. A new ability each time. Think of it, for those of you who've played Final Fantasy, kind of like a limit break in a way, but it makes combat a smidge more customizable. And you get a star power by executing attacks well and quote-unquote performing for the crowd, since you're on a stage.
Yeah, that was a very interesting mechanic, because you can even, just like sometimes you might want to, if you do the attacks right, you get points that way, whatever else. But there are times you might even want to just play to the crowd. There's like an
Yeah.
ability to, not attack, not defend, not use an item, but play to the crowd. And so that can get you more of that star power if you really need to build it up faster.
And I think that was it's on a stage to really lean into the fact that it's a storybook. Like this is telling you a story right now.
And I thought it was kind of a cute play on how many games you go into the battle segment and it's a whole different battle arena. And so this one's just like, okay, our battle arena is a literal stage. And like lights can fall on you from above.
Oh my god, I know.
And anything can happen, which is cool.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you have that kind of powers up your character, or what else are you able to use?
Oh, well, our gear, we'll talk about gear. I mean, it's limited. You don't get, you really may get an extra ability by Mario getting like a new hammer, but there's nothing like wristbands or armor or helmets or anything,
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. There's not a whole lot of gear. You'd think maybe, like, you pick up stuff and you're like, oh, I can equip this, but then it gives him a new ability or something.
Yeah.
And it's like...
I actually like that. I like that. I don't mind a game. I also love a game where, each party member gets a helmet and armor and boots and wristband and 2 accessories. That's also fun for me. Yeah. But I'm never upset when a game is like, all right, you have 2 slots. You have, 2 rings to wear. That's all you get. Or just armor and a weapon. That's all you get. So I'm okay if gear is limited. That doesn't make it not fun to me.
As long as the other systems are good. Yeah, that's the thing, is like sometimes there's too many things to balance. And so then, but if the systems that they have are well constructed, then I agree. It's fine to not have too many systems.
It's fine. So what about leveling up and some other things, Samuel?
So you do level up, but it's a little different than maybe normal. You don't gain a level and then gain extra, attack stats or extra defense stats or extra HP. What happens is you just get a pick. You get a pick if your character gets more hit points, if your character gets more flower points or mana, or if your character gets more badge points. Okay, so... yeah, HP is self-explanatory. You get more hit points.
Yeah.
Flower points, you get more mana. And then badge points. Okay, so what the heck are those? Well, the badges are kind of like your gear or your customizables. It's how you really make your character more unique and more intricate. How do you want to utilize them to make them the strongest? How do you kind of make a build, I guess? So what these will do is sometimes the badge will just give you more stat increases, so you may be more attack or defense, or they may allow you to heal every turn, or gain a new battle ability even. And if you get multiple badges of the same type, there are certain ones that are like a hammer attack or something also. If you equipped a few of those, then that hammer attack will be even more powerful. So there's a lot of different things you can do, but each one takes a certain number of badge points. And so some of the stronger ones, like increasing your attack power, might take 6. Some of the less powerful ones might take 1. So and it ranges all in between then. So as you keep leveling up, you can just equip more and more and more of these badges. Honestly, it reminded me a lot of what they did with the Lumina system in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, right? So you start with Pictos there, and then they become Luminas. But once they're Luminas, if you have enough Lumina points, you can keep attaching all the Lumina and customize your build and give your character different abilities. So I thought it was very similar to that. And I dug it. I liked it.
Yeah. Or rather, Clair Obscur was similar to Paper Mario.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe they took it from there. You're right. You're right.
You're not the first person I've heard compare those games, actually. Like, just some of the basic mechanics.
Well, but yeah, between the time mechanics and then the badge system being kind of like the Lumen. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of differences too. But
yeah.
Like, they probably, a little bit different. A lot less paper mechanics.
Yeah, a few fewer paper mechanics for sure.
But visually, you are right. It is very different, but it still looks good. Tell us about kind of the looks there, DJ.
It's really colorful. It's pretty. It is. Mm-hmm. I think folks probably have picked up that this is... I'm sorry, it wasn't my favorite game that I've ever played, but there's no denying that it looks great, especially on the Switch too.
The updated graphics are great. It looks really good.
Crisp, bright, colorful, everything is, it's made of paper, of course. You mentioned that people were upset about the frames per second, which like have a different personality, folks. Like I mean seriously, get mad about something else. There are bigger things to be mad about in a game.
I
Seriously,
think they were
come
thinking
on.
with the Switch hardware, Switch 2 hardware, they could do 60 frames per second, but at the same time, like this is not an action game. This is not a fast-paced game. Yeah, there's some time button presses, but I think you can get by with the 30 FPS, and I think it looked beautiful.
Oh, I swear the only people who complain about FPS are people who only play on PC anyway. So shut the hell up.
Yeah, and I think the paper aesthetic really shined here. Like the paper theme shined in the visuals. Because just, how each locale was different paper, and you could like use that one character's ability to blow sheets of paper away and things
Yeah.
would be revealed behind them, or it would flip a sheet of paper over and it would completely change what the backdrop was, and maybe you could walk up a flight of stairs now, or it just everything leaned on that, and I thought it was well done.
And those graphics were cute when they happened too.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
liked it.
it was good.
It was good. So Sam, tell us a little bit, elevator pitch. Tell us about the story here of 1,000 Doors.
Okay, buckle up. It's
Okay.
a really in-depth story. Okay,
Ugh.
it's not. No. It's not. There's not that much of a deep story for, I don't think, many, if any, Mario games. But, so this one, shocker. Peach is lost or been taken.
What?
And you have to find Peach. So real shocker, out of the gate, something that's never happened in a Mario game before. Peach is gone. But, anyway, for real though, you have to find these 7 crystal stars to open up the, quote, 1,000-year door, because you were told that they could help you find Peach, and also that behind this door it holds some powerful secret or treasure. So you're both trying to rescue and locate Peach, but also there's some sort of secret or treasure behind the 1,000-year door that you need to find. You mostly follow Mario throughout this story as he, works on his way to find Peach, but also you can play as Peach sometimes. You kind of get to see from her perspective as the B story. And I thought her story was much more interesting. Her interactions with a character that I guess I won't mention, but there's a different character that she interacts with and you interact with there, that their storyline is much more intriguing than anything happening at Mario's point of view. And then additionally, sometimes you get to play as Bowser and some other characters, so they kind of put you in the position of some other characters, which makes it fun. But overall, the story's pretty bare bones.
I mean, if you're playing a Mario game, I can't imagine you're playing it for some Shakespearean in-depth story. Respectfully.
I don't think you are. Yeah, I don't think you are. And since you're not, you get what you'd like. I think there's some points that hit pretty nicely, and some points that are meaningful near the end. But overall, I would say it's not hanging its hat on its story as much as gameplay and feel and aesthetics and those kind of
Total
things.
vibe.
And also a little bit the music. Tell us about the music though, DJ.
Yeah, for sure. It's great music. Yeah, the composer, some of the composers at least, because all these games have multiple composers that contribute music to it. So sorry if I butcher this name, Yuka Tsuyoko, who also worked on some Fire Emblem games, Paper Mario, the Smash games, Yoshiro Hirano. It's updated for the remake, so I haven't listened to the original music, but I imagine that it was not a full orchestration for the original music.
I didn't listen to the original either, so I don't know. We'll have to check it out.
I don't know. I'll have to check that. But it has been updated for the remake, which is really nice to hear. There was some as you pointed out in our conversation before we started recording too, that there's some like slightly more atmospheric like tracks for the sewers. It's a little more upbeat for the battle. There's like a nice buffet of different tunes and music. So tasty. I mean, the music is catchy. I think it's just as catchy as other Mario games, which again, like aren't my first games that I would gravitate toward. But the music in Mario games are kind of fun, not too
It
serious.
still feels like Mario music, right? It is Mario music.
Totally does.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, again, it's a composer who's worked on other Mario games, so they already have that like tonal language when they're composing new music for it. I'm sure.
I don't think anybody will be complaining when they play this that the music is not what they expected or they don't like it.
I'm sure it's exactly what they expect. If you gave me a week and I did a deep dive into the music of 1,000 Doors, I'm sure that I could find, that's what I'm going to keep calling it, I'm sure I could find some quotes or like leitmotifs that are callbacks to other Mario games.
Oh, for sure. I'm
And
sure of
it,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
composers love putting those little jokes in there every once in a while. So yeah, if you want to play a game that has some great music, this is one of those games, I think.
I think so. I think there's a lot of good aspects to it.
Yeah.
So kind of, I would say the music is up there for sure. I'd say overall, I like the feel. Like I said, it's fun, it's lighthearted. The aesthetic, I really liked how they incorporated the paper mechanic into everything. Sometimes it can be a little heavy-handed if you just go by a theme, but I thought it was well balanced and added to the experience a lot with the paper mechanics in this game. Battling wise, I really liked the timed button presses. I thought it added a lot to each battle and made it fun and engaging. The badge system, I thought really lets you eventually, once you get a lot of points, badge points, which is basically what I put all my level up points into, so I could put more badges on because I thought it was more fun.
Wait, really?
I
Oh,
almost never till the definitely halfway through. I didn't put a single one into HP or maybe one extra into FP because I want to be able to use the abilities.
oh my
But
gosh. I mean,
I didn't put any into HP
first of
almost
all,
ever.
the game already shames you if you want to put it into HP, and it's like, ooh, put it points here for people who aren't confident or something. And I'm like, how dare you? I will be putting it in HP right now. Thank you so much.
Nope, all badge points all the time. But then I could use more badges, and it was fun. And then, like I mentioned, that exploration of the overworld and the abilities of your side characters to help with exploration, as well as those Metroidvania-esque additional paper mechanic abilities to navigate the overworld, made it really fun. And just things opened up as you progressed.
As you progressed a little bit.
As you progressed, but the progression was really nice. And so I would say play it for one if you like Mario. You know, if you like Mario games, you'll get music that feels like Mario. You'll get gameplay that feels different than Mario, but still Mario-esque. If you're looking for a very polished yet simple RPG that's light and fun, so you're not going to get anything super in depth, but it is very polished experience.
Yeah.
Probably if you're looking for a shorter RPG, I'd say around 30 hours it took me to finish this. It's full of laughs and smiles. But also maybe, I think we talked about this before, if you're looking for, maybe you haven't tried a lot of RPGs or JRPGs and you're looking to dip your toe in it, I think this would be a perfect one to start with. Not too intense, not too in-depth, not too long, but it introduces a lot of the core mechanics of RPGs and JRPGs.
No, I totally agree. You know, as much as I like jokingly, you know, shit talk this game every once in a while, it's a perfect introduction to an RPG if you've never played it. Because if you've never picked up a video game before, you know who Mario is. Mm-hmm. Like he is, and
Can't avoid him.
I'm not even making this up. He is the most popular like icon in a video game ever. Like ever. Actually, like there's like data published about this too. He's the most recognizable icon in video games. So if you've never picked up an RPG and you're like kind of curious about it, this would be a great one to start with. It would be.
I agree.
You know,
Yeah.
don't play it. I hate to say don't play it, but you know, if you're wanting something that is deeper and a more difficult RPG, or if you want something that's going to be a long game like a Persona or something like that that's going to be 80 plus hours, this probably won't be for you. Or rather, instead of saying don't play it, it's just, you know, sure, play it, but you may not get the enjoyment that you're looking for.
Yeah, it might not be the top of the RPG list that we would recommend for you.
Yeah. I think this would be one that you and I would split too. Like I think that you and I would both recommend this game to newbies for sure. For
100%.
sure.
It'd be probably the top of that list for me.
I think it would be too for newbies for sure. For someone who is a learned, experienced gamer, for me, this one probably wouldn't come up. I'm an outlier. Admittedly, I'm such an outlier when it comes to being kind of so-so on this game. I think IGN a month ago just put out their top 25 RPGs ever, and this was, I think, number 10 or number 9.
Yeah, it's on the lists and a lot really high up. And even though I really liked it, I don't think I would put it near the top 10 of even my own list. Unfortunately, just because I look for something that's deeper and more mechanics and more depth to the gameplay. That's the main criticism from my perspective. But I think as I played through it more and more and once I finished it, I think I got where people are coming from
Sure.
for the most part, but I also wonder how much of it is nostalgia and people that played it a long time ago too.
I would not, sometimes I get so mad at you when you're like, "Ugh, it's just nostalgia." But in this case, because it confirms my bias, I'm going to go with you and say, and say
This
I
one time I can be right on nostalgia, but never again.
never again. No, I think you might be onto something. I think nostalgia might play a factor, and you know what? Who cares?
That's fine.
Who
That's
cares if
fine.
it does? That's
Nostalgia's
a
nice.
valid reason to enjoy a game.
Yeah,
For sure, because
exactly.
I've certainly let nostalgia blind me to some games before.
Well, that's okay. But well, what games are you playing nowadays and not blinding yourself to?
So in the script that Sam and I have, Sam
You
said
don't.
that
You
the
don't
Sam
I
said
didn't. I didn't say any of this.
Sam said the games that I'm playing right now are called Ball Mountain, Nut Punchers, and Scrote Dungeon. So
You're supposed to fill out which games you're playing right now.
those are the games
So
I apparently I'm playing.
how is Scrote Dungeon?
Shut up. I'm not playing Scrote Dungeon yet. It's not out yet, Sam. I'm casually playing through Tenshi no Uda, which kind of shadow dropped digitally last week. Or sorry, at the time of this recording, it shadow dropped digitally last week. Limited run games, which I know can be really problematic. They're putting out a physical edition like in September, and I just thought, oh, that's when this game will probably come out. I've never played it before. Maybe I'll give it a look. And I went on the Switch store like a day after it was released and was like, oh, cool. This is here digitally if you want it. So I bought it. It's a
Yeah.
game from the PC Turbo PC engine from a console that I don't have.
I was gonna say I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm here to listen to it.
It's from the PC Engine Super CD-ROM. That's what it's from. The PC Engine. Yes, that thing that everyone had. Just kidding. Most people didn't have. And it's charming. It's so I enjoy kind of exploring video game history every once in a while and just seeing like, okay, this is what an RPG looked like in 1991 on this console that this game was never released outside of Japan.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting. And what have you found?
It's colorful. It seems to be a cool translation. It's cool that there are like cutscenes in a game that's so old that looks a little Phantasy Star or Lunar on Sega CD, the version you've not played before.
Yeah.
In their cutscenes, it's like overly bright palette, and then I feel like Sega games and Sega adjacent games like the PC Engine went with a certain color palette every once in a while that was almost like sickeningly bright every once in a while.
Okay.
So I don't like that the battle for it is front view, which means you don't see your characters. You only see a box with your name and your HP on it. That's not my favorite. I think it's something really, I don't know, charming about seeing the characters on screen that you're battling.
Oh, for sure.
That you're battling with. But it was kind of unique for the time that you have a party of up to 5 people. So
Oh wow, there's a lot for
there you go.
91.
For 90, or maybe it wasn't 91. Let me see.
It's fine. It's
no.
fine.
Oh my gosh, it was. It was 91. I did a good guess. And it has to do with mythology from Ireland. Ooh.
Oh, fun. That's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, very different for a Japanese game. So yeah, I'm kind of casually playing through that, and I just downloaded the demo to Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, but I haven't really played it yet.
Oh, fun. I bet you're gonna love that one.
I think so. What about you? What are you playing?
So, Trails in the Sky, first chapter, still deep into that, loving it. Gonna keep playing a lot of that.
Yay.
However, if I'm not done with that one, and I probably won't be by next week, I am also going to dive into Code Vein 2, which comes out I think next week.
Ooh.
And so tune in. We're gonna try to get out an early episode right around the time of release for Code Vein 2 to chat about Convince You to Play, that brand new title.
That'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to do that. So tune in and be prepared for that. But where can they find us when we come out with these new episodes?
Well, you can tune in at any handle that says @TurnBaseBesties. That's mostly going to be Instagram, but you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere where you find us a podcast. That's where we're going to be. Go to our YouTube, subscribe, go to our subreddit, follow us there, have some fun.
We just started a TikTok.
We just started a Tink Tonk too, so go to our Tink Tonk.
It's very fledgling. I'm gonna keep adding things to it, but it's young.
Yeah, and it's also Turn-Based Besties at that as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, and also look out for new Turn-Based Besties graphics and art next time for the next episode. You're gonna see we've commissioned an artist, so you're gonna see Sam and I all pixelated and stuff.
It's gonna be great.
It'll be really, really cool. We have new episodes coming out basically every other Friday. So we try to do 2 times a month. Sometimes we'll do 3 times a month. 8 a.m. Pacific time or 10 a.m. Central time. This is not every Friday morning, as I said, but it's, close to every other Friday. Gigantic thanks to everyone who is following us on social media. I think we're going to get to 500 folks on Instagram this year. I've got a good feeling about it, man.
We can do it.
Good feeling on these adventures that I'm going on with you here at Turn-Based Besties.
Aw, me too. I agree. And as we say, when everything in the world points right, maybe go left and see what you find. Because I'm Sam.
And I'm DJ, and this has been yet another episode of Turn-Based Besties. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.